Hi guys.
Hey, how's it going?
So you guys have good chemistry together?
Yeah, that's just acting. I hate each other.
We're paid to be this.
We're paid to be friends.
Oh, you don't like hate each other like on the show?
Yeah.
Not like that.
No.
Confrontational.
No, we get along pretty well. When we're paid.
When we're paid.
What was it like working with Todd Masters with those wolf scenes? Like how grueling and kind of characters
I mean, all of those guys were such talented guys, you know. And I have such a love for VFX guys because they're all, you know, these. You know, you go into the trailer to get whatever put on, and they're listening to this dark thrash like, whoa, yeah! and they got
all of them seem to listen to metal.
All of them listen to metal or dark like rock, you know. And then they have like these big beards and tattoos, and they're like, yeah. And then they sit there and they just delicately like passionately like paint these little details and it's so cool to be a part of that and to you know they're so passionate about it and it really means a lot to have them on our show.
We saw the wolf carcass that you get to crawl out of.
Oh yeah, it was.
Sounds like there's a story there.
It was the most bizarre thing that I think I've ever done.
I have some fun pictures of you because he was just painted in blood. He was just covered in blood.
Yeah, it took me 3 showers to get it all off.
Yeah, but you were so he was walking like he had to have a little heating room or whatever for him, and it was just like walking around. It was freezing. It was in the winter in Toronto, and I was sitting in the chair and he kind of came out between shots just like in a white robe and just like covered in red, like just like a real life temple. And it was really funny. And then we went out and like had a cigarette. And you're like, oh, I love cigarette. And you're bloody. Your hands are bloody, so the cigarette like stuck to the finger, so you can just like it's just like it's very bizarre.
When you ask yourself why, what am I doing?
What's the meaning of this?
The meaning of all this.
It's pretty cool though for you when you get to see kind of the finished product, since you get to see all the pieces, but then to actually see it all come together.
Yeah.
Does it come out how you think it would?
Actually, the effects this year, like the visual effects this year, came out far greater than I was expecting. The wolves are a lot more animated and it's really exciting to see because you're not sure what you're making until you see it, in terms of the visuals.
When Hemlock Grove first came into being, you guys were kind of breaking new ground with Netflix, sort of like pioneering into this concept of a professional web original. So I'm sure you guys weren't sure how long you would be able to tell this story. But when you guys first got word of a second season and that you guys were going to be able to come back, what were you most excited about revisiting and continuing?
It was like the whole I was really excited too, because I thought that the way the season was crafted was just it was meant to be a longer story than just one season. So and I've never worked on a TV show before. So when you work like on feature films, you already have the full story. Where it begins, what's happening in the middle, and what the end of the story is. But a TV show is always open, so I felt that it was just like the first act of the character's arc, or maybe not even that, but it was just like this first story. So I was really excited to see where the writers would go with our characters, as they get older and mature and dealing with new problems and stuff. So it's really cool that way, working on a TV show, I think.
How much more sinister do you expect the show to become?
Sinister?
Yes.
In this season or to come?
To come.
more. So I don't know. Like it's
I mean,
It's gonna be
it got
interesting.
weird this year. You know, like
Yeah.
it just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
yeah, it got really strange. It's like, I have no idea
Yeah.
what a season 3 would look like,
Yeah.
which is also exciting. But but I would like to see, because Roman is such a delicate character in that way that he could easily go somewhere very dark and cynical, so sinister. So it would be interesting to see where they decide to go with him, and because I think that there's a lot of dark and evil stuff you can explore with him, with that character. So yeah, you never know.
Well, Roman's already gone pretty dark, with being a cousin lover and
Rapist.
rapist.
Yeah, well,
Were you a little nervous about that when you saw those scenes coming up, that might be something that just completely alienates him from the audience?
It's very interesting. I don't think it does, and I don't think it did. When you and that's a challenge for an actor, because I always think like, no matter what type of monster you play, you should be able to sympathize with that monster. I think that's especially as a an important character in a TV show. Like it's so easy if you alienate them and they become evil. It defeats the purpose. Like you should feel for him, and what saves it is like if you watch it, like he hates himself so much when he does it. Like it's almost like he's doing it to kind of to beat on himself. And when you see that you see this monster being so disgusted by what he's doing, I think that you actually feel sympathy for him, and because he is constantly battling, like he doesn't want to be this, he hates this side of him, and that's what makes him it's like somewhat noble, trying to like he doesn't. It would be so much easier for him to just give in to all of that, but he's trying so desperately hard to be decent and yeah.
Nice. So can you talk a bit more about how both your characters are grappling with coming to terms with what they are, the monsters that they are, and you guys talk about like the dynamic between your relationship from season 1 and season 2, and how you guys balance each other out.
It's my turn.
Yeah, I think true. We talk individually about what we're going through, and then we'll tie in how we're important to each other.
Okay, go on. Smart, prudent.
Prudent.
So like where this season, season 1 left us is obviously Roman feels that Peter just left and bailed, and that's a part of how he was brought up, is that when things get too hairy, you leave, you pack up, and you get on the road, and he did that when Roman needed him the most, and in doing so, Roman also became this. He gave in to fulfilling his transformation in being this creature. So he hates Peter for that, and that's where the tension between them leaves us from season 1. And in season 2, Roman is the CEO of the company. He's taken that very seriously, and trying to deal with that as an 18-year-old man, and then also at the same time trying to deal with these dark, bloodthirsty urges of wanting to eat people, but at the same time he doesn't want to hurt people. So that's where Roman is.
Yeah, and like Peter is devastated from the loss of the Letha, and also having to run away from his friend and from his past. And I think the big struggle with Peter in season 2 is him slowly losing control of what he is, and it's almost like he's getting. He's always been so in control and so spiritual about his lycanthropy, and in season 2 it's as it slowly starts to slip, he gets drunk on using the power of it, because at the end of season 1 he gains the ability to transform without a full moon. So he's sort of a live wire as the beginning of the season goes on, and so obviously these two people are going through these very serious inner turmoils. They're going to need each other to pull through.
Yeah, and for different reasons, Peter comes back to Hemlock Grove, and their paths are crossed again.
This season, there's so much blood and gore. Obviously, you guys tasted it. What was that?
Would you say that was corn syrup?
Sometimes it's corn syrup with dye in it.
Because I know there was a huge scene where you drank like a whole glass.
Do you actually consume that?
Did you consume that?
Oh,
Or
you
is that
mean the
just
drinking?
pouring?
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was the pouring thing. But you're talking about the little container, the
Yeah.
glass container thing. Yeah, that was.
That's not corn. You didn't drink all
No,
of it.
that was something that mixed up. It was like
Kool-Aid.
Cocktail.
Kool-Aid and some Jello thing. It was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
something that they mixed up. It was all edible, and it's actually not that bad. It's something with like because the first it was just so chunky,
Yeah.
and that it looks so nasty. So like just like drinking like chunky things made me like. So I was like, let's just make it more liquidy because it's so just like it's something that adds to when it looks nasty, even though it doesn't taste nasty, but it has like consistency of something really wrong. It's kind of hard to do. I had a lot of eating and these things. They're always edible things that they put together, but they just look nasty, and they kind of, their first priorities is obviously to make it look good and not taste good. So even though they just mix all these weird things that you shouldn't mix together, like sweet and salty things, and it just like makes this kind of not for a very tasty little thing.
So you ate everything, like even the raw food or whatever that they kind of cooked?
I had liver. That was actually not raw.
Oh.
There's line in there. And I go, this liver's supposed to be raw. Yeah, that was also like funny. But I mean, we had. I'm not picky when it comes to eating things. It's like I'm not. It's like it's fine as long as it doesn't make me sick or anything. And in terms of the blood, it's like the blood that I have in my mouth that you can swallow, and I just kind of just pour it in and then just like make it spit it out so it looks like it's over there. And but when you have like those, they had like huge like kind of pressure containers, and then you had like gallons of blood just to make it like gush like that, and that you shouldn't drink because it's poisonous. But like you just kind of put your mouth there and it just like this gushes all over the place, and it's basically just having like a water crane just like blowing in your mouth. God, it was fun.
Where would you guys like to see your characters go in following seasons or upcoming seasons?
Season 2 ends on such a crazy cliffhanger
Yeah.
that I can't even predict
What's
what's to
I have
come.
no idea.
I can't. I don't even know how to. I mean, I don't even know. It's such a crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's weird to. It's a hard thing to answer because it's like
to imagine.
yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
right and left turns
Yeah.
going through the season. So it'd be interesting to see where they decide to go with the characters for sure.
Can you talk a bit about Roman's relationship with Shelly in the second season?
It's something that I actually would want more of because we only had a few scenes together.
Oh, more scenes with Shelly this year too.
Yeah.
I missed that stuff.
Yeah, she's in Madeline Martin just brought so much life to that character now. She's one of my favorite parts of the new season is just her and just because we've had so much problem with that character trying to figure out how to shoot it and do it and blah blah blah. We went back and forth in season 1 and now it just finally found something that's remarkable and that's definitely not out there now, like on television or film. It's just like this, monstrous little girl at the same time, very moving. And I remember we shot that Shelly's arc is like she's doing a lot of, by herself because she ran off and Roman thinks that she's dead and he doesn't even dare to hope that she's alive anymore. And she's dead. And then rumors start, going around that she might be alive. And I remember having that first scene with her, because the first scene, that was like episode 7 or something. It was very moving, like for me even to have it. Like I was just like, it was like I was surprisingly moved. It's easy to play moved when you're actually moved in real life, because it was, in terms of how Roman is and how much he adores his little sister, to play him, seeing her was actually a very emotional scene for me to play, there's so many things going on there, but I would really hope, in the future season to have more with that, because I think that the relationship between the two of them is very sweet, and it's also going back to the thing of it kind of, gives him, free cards to do bad things when you see how tender he is to this, to his little sister.
How would you describe Roman as a father?
Scared. He's scared. I mean, it's funny. He loves his daughter more than anything, I think. But he's terrified because he doesn't know what to do, and I think that his daughter is somewhat terrified of him too. So they're just having this. A lot of it is just kind of them just like staring at each other. And it's like, what are you? And I don't have any kids of my own, but like Chick Egley actually said, like, or if I don't know if it was Chick, it was one of the writers, but it was just like going on, like there's when you have your first kid, it's a very terrifying thing. You look at this thing and you're like, you're my responsibility now for the next 18 years. Like I can affect your life. It's a very like overwhelming thing. So Roman is scared of himself. So and if you're scared of yourself, of course you don't trust yourself in being a good role model or dad to a child. So he's definitely terrified.
What are the some of the felt differences within you show in Chick Egley versus season 1?
You mean bigger differences?
Yeah. How have the dynamics changed?
I don't think that any dynamics changed. I mean, in the first season, we had a very open conversation with Brian McGreevy about the characters, and in season 2, we had an open dialogue with the writers and Chick. But I think what's different is just Chick's style, of writing is different than Brian. So he kind of opens up a new perspective into the world. And I think a big part of it is that he's really into science and DNA and all that. So like I think he, there's a lot going on in the White Tower in season 2, and there's a lot of discovering what Price is up to in the White Tower. So I think Chick had a really great time or fun time, just creating mysterious little scientific creatures, or just opening up the doors to the White Tower a little bit. So I don't think any dynamic change. I think it was just a matter of style and just giving a different perspective on what this world is.
Last question. All right.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.